Alright, we're playing Antilios. Dr. Beverly Crusher is beamed down to a planet. It's basically a living organism.
I've dropped my tricorder.
Right out the gate, clumsiness kicks in. You gotta pick up the tricorder, but don't really want to use it, because inside these cells...
These could be the creature's antibodies.
They attack when you turn the tricorder on. So you begin wandering these tunnels, and these tunnels are treacherous. I think they're supposed to be arteries or veins. And so you run into all these blue creatures that don't hurt you as long as the tricorder is not turned on, but nonetheless they're in the way, so you're jumping and crouching and having to shoot them out of the way sometimes. When you stumble into these white rooms, you'll find that Soran has these robots that are trying to extract trilithium from these flowering plants. And so at that point you're there to knock them out of relevance.
This should heal up in no time.
You heal clicking that button, and then
There's
you can
nothing
collect a
here to
sample
collect.
from that, which you can also use as a health power-up as needed. So, helpful hint there. So there's two different sections through the tunnels that you need to find before you can open up one of the other corridors that's blocked. It's very easy to get turned around in here. I've edited some of this for time because you spend so much time just trying to map it out, and if you turn your tricorder on, those blue guys that don't hurt you when it's turned off start shooting at you. So it's very unforgiving. Very annoying level. So once you make your way across to the other side, you'll find an entry point eventually that leads you into another corridor with one of those white corners that has another of the robot extractors stealing life from another flower. You'll have to forgive my lack of knowing the technical terms. I have literally spent weeks trying to master the ins and outs of this to make this video. Couldn't really find a lot of videos with commentary explaining. There's some walkthroughs online, but one thing I'll say as a hint early on, if you do play through this, use your kicking as much as possible. Save your phaser ammo for later in the level, because this is a beast of a level.
Ah, that should do it.
So heal that one up.
This enzyme seems to work on humans as
Get
well.
you a sample. Work your way out. And that sound is actually an indicator that the clogged artery is now open in that center room. So once you work your way back out to that middle part, you'll find your way in to that area, and then you'll need to find one more area where Soran's got a robot. I've heard it's useful to kind of stick to the left on the tunnels to find your way around. I can't say that that always worked, but we'll go with that. If you turn the tricorder on, turn off the little people icon, and that'll make it easier to see. But again, just a fair warning, if you go into the wrong tunnel, these blue things will shoot at you. You wander more and more and more, trying to get around these guys. They don't really want you through because they think you're a virus. And then you find your way into this sort of red area. So you can actually jump up and pick this thing if you want to save your phaser rounds, which I would suggest. This video is actually a spliced section of like 3 or 4 different attempts to beat this, and once I finally did beat it, it was by conserving my phaser ammo to the end of the level.
Ah.
So most every creature can be kicked. If you kick the blue guys, you are damaging the organisms that are native to the planet, and then, as one person put it, you're no better than Soran because you're killing these natural organisms. So do your best not to kill them except when you absolutely have to. Another opening opens up after you defeat that, and then you fall through this portal to this ugly green room where you've got to cover Dr. Crusher in this ugly green slime to pass through these other passages. So you'll find your way through. You coat yourself in this green enzyme stuff, and you need to go back into this center room to pass through these portals. And the only way that you can actually get through is by immersing yourself. But there's a catch, because you only have like 45 seconds to get back to the portal. You'll see what I mean just demonstrating on the level here. So run down these corridors, and you want to jump up the very outer edges to this upper level, and you'll see that there are these little green doorways. Once you find your way into the right green doorway, initially you're going to need to take a sample out of this green slimy water in here. You'll see that there's these trilithium plants that really want to hurt you, so they shoot at you and try to zap you, so you got to watch out for that. But when you drop down into this pool here, you'll see these little enzyme samples. You'll pull those out, and you're going to use these to repair another one that's not doing so hot. Just watch out on your way out, because they're not happy with you. So again, you're covered in this sticky green slime. And you can
There's
see
no
the
healing to
ooze
be done
coming
here.
out of the wall. You can
This
collect
enzyme wears
samples
off
from
pretty
there.
quickly.
So from the center room, the green enzyme
The
only
creature probably thinks I'm an infection.
gives you about 45 seconds from this. I think it only gives you about 30 seconds. So you really don't have much time to mess around. So just the mechanics, the gameplay, very frustrating. The whole level, extremely difficult, among one of the most annoying levels that I could think of playing through. Kind of reminds me of the last level on the Superman 64. Just painstakingly awful. And to make matters worse, there are glitches if your computer processor's too fast. I'm using a virtual machine on an iPad to actually
These don't appear to be part of
simulate
the
this.
natural antibody system.
These guys you have to blast at a certain frequency. They're on the yellow. Because if you shoot them too high or too low, it renders no effect. So that's just another pointer on that one. So you're going to feed this guy the green enzyme, heal him, and then you'll notice his pool starts to fill up down here. And then you're on for the next part of the level, because otherwise you're not going to be able to get out. You need the green enzyme to pass back through the portal. So heal, give the green enzyme, you'll see the ooze start to trickle back out, and then it's time to get back to work again. "30 seconds in the green enzyme." You don't have a lot of time to move, but at this point you're just going to try to slip out this little passage if you can maneuver the frustrating controls.
Troy to Dr. Crusher.
Crusher here.
I'm sensing great relief from the creature. Whatever you've done, it's helping.
Thanks, Deanna. It's good to know my treatment's a success. Crusher out.
Of course it is, Doctor. You're the best at what you do. And you'll tell everybody else the same. So anyway, in the green enzyme, you drop down, you pass through this strange passageway, and I wish I could tell you that the level gets easier, but it just doesn't. And you got to be careful over here
Those look
too,
like giant microbes.
because these flying red creatures are going to shoot and zap at you. So my suggestion, just don't even really engage them. Just try to get under them, get over to this other side, and slip through this hole where she makes a comment about the Jeffries tube. This is where the processor issue happens, but if you crouch down and just
That
jump,
opening
jump,
is
jump,
smaller than a Jeffries tube.
usually it'll let you through. Gotta be careful coming through here too, because it's full of the trilithium. They're not happy with you. Because they think you're a virus. So anyway, you're moving to higher ground here, and then once you jump to the middle, then you go up on this ledge here. My suggestion is you go to the end of this middle rock, then you turn around, hold down the run button, and then jump. It's a running jump. That's the only way you're going to make this one. And once you're over, you have to kind of navigate around these and try not to get zapped. Use your hypospray sparingly. And you've got to have another super jump here. Once more. And if you can get past these two, you're on your way toward the end. But you're not out of the woods yet. Super jump right here. That's a running jump. You're going to come in here and make sure you collect this breathing mask. And within this chamber, you've got two little tunnels you've got to go down. One of the tunnels has yellow enzyme and the other has blue, and you're going to collect both of those in your little collecting tube. But ultimately, if you can stay coated in the enzyme, then you won't have to use it. So the way this works, you need to be coated in both versions of the enzyme, the yellow and the blue, to be green, and that allows you to jump into this central portal to get to the final zone where Soran is located. So it's super difficult to explain. I think a video is really probably the best way to show you how. For the people that completed this in 1997, props to you, because this was an extremely frustrating level. So while the enzyme's on you, you'll leap through, you'll pass through this area, and then you're now into the heart of the planet. You can hear the beating sound. Make sure your breathing mask is engaged, and you're going to just start working your way up. Some of the lovely scenery of Antilios there. Keep finagling your way around, and then once you're on toward the very end, you're going to find where really the central nervous system piece is. You'll probably have to take out one of these blue guys to get there.
I'm reading a neural signature here.
This is the brain, and as you get close to it, it zaps you through this really cool transport where your brain sort of misfires.
Dr. Crusher, do you read? We lost you for a minute.
Just fine, Captain. I think I've just been through a synaptic transfer.
Naturally.
This looks like some kind of infection.
So here are our favorite guys again. You're going to have to use your phaser on these. I mean, you can kick them, but you're probably going to take too much damage to make it worthwhile. And once you get to this section, you're going to work your way around the very outer edge. There's a staircase, and there's more of these flying guys. You're going to have to take, I think it's about 3 shots per creature on the yellow setting in the middle. You probably need to use your hypospray to keep your health up. And you'll notice I've got one more round of phaser charge that I can activate too. So right here I'm going to go ahead and turn it back on. Try to save some for the confrontation with Soran at the end of the level if you can. But you really don't have a lot of time to waste here, because I think that you're being damaged as you work your way to the top. You can see the screen flashing and flickering. Just less is more. Try to get out of here as quick as you can. Get to the very edge. Go quickly, and you'll see there toward the middle there's another little passageway that's going to zap you through another artery or vein of some kind. Thankfully on this one you don't really have to navigate much other than crouch a couple of times, and then it just shoots you through like you're going through a blood vessel or something. Once you're here, you know you're at the climax of the level. Like I said, very annoying level, but it is a very cool concept for a level. I just don't
That
think
was
Dr.
quite a
Crusher
ride.
should have been on this away mission all by herself. There's another mask to help you breathe in the blood here that could prove useful. I think it might also be for somebody that got through that didn't find the other one. I'm not totally sure. I didn't end up using it. And so you'll have to wait up for a little bit, but there's current in this section here that will launch you up toward this ship, or I don't know what it is. I guess it's a ship that Soran is in where he's storing the trilithium, all that's been containerized from these plants. So he can jump back into the Nexus. This one is a precision thing. You've got to get to the
That
middle.
must be where Soran is.
Underneath this iron lung, whatever you want to call it, ship.
I'll have to negotiate these currents to reach him.
So keep working your way up. You can use the jump button once the currents start. Kind of get yourself centered, but it's going to take you a few tries more than likely. I think the only way in is from the bottom, so. Very interesting idea for a level. If you look it up, this is not considered Star Trek canon, but for the guys that came up with it, they definitely get some kudos for some ingenious methods. If you jump at the wrong angle, it kind of like attaches you to it. You can't get right into it, so you've got to jump at exactly the right spot. And once you're there, you're in. Get your phaser ready, dial that thing
Dr.
up all the
Soran.
way.
You really are.
Find something to crouch behind.
You've caused enough pain, Soran. It stops here.
He normally doesn't like a lot of shots.
I have a date with eternity, and I don't want to be late.
As I said, save some of your phaser for the trilithium here. You need
Crusher
to
to
blow
Enterprise.
that up before you leave.
Soran has escaped by transporter. He seems
Just
to
don't
have
stand
left
too
his
close.
trilithium behind.
I think we would be wise to destroy it, Doctor. We're standing by to beam you aboard.
Man, I can't tell you how satisfying it was to finally get to this point. This was such an annoying level. The most deserved transport out ever. Now, I haven't beat this game yet, but so far, it's another one of those robot things he was using to extract the trilithium. You can't do anything with it, though.
One to beam up.
And that's it. Good luck, folks. Antilios is a beast.